Welcome back to the Nioh in-depth boss guides. I'm Kuroi, and before this episode gets started on Hino-Enma, a couple of items that I would recommend. One being, of course, the elixir, but a must-have for this fight is the anti-paralytic needles. Now, you should have been collecting these throughout this entire level. Go ahead and clip it on one of your hotkeys. Pretty much anytime that you get stunned by Hino-Enma, if you use this item, it will instantly allow you to move again. This item is a must if you plan on taking on this boss effectively, especially if it's been giving you some problems in this fight. Other than that, the rest of the 6 slots can be filled with whatever you want, but let's get started. Hino-Enma basically has a few set attack moves that she uses throughout the entire fight. Now, when you first start the fight, she will use her flying dash at you. This can be used at any point during the entire fight. It's not used too often, but it is always the first move that she will use, so right when you start you want to go ahead and dodge either left or right to get out of her way. Her next 2 set of attacks are practically one and the same. It's a 2-kick, 3-kick combo, and a 2-hit, 3-hit combo with her umbrella. With these set of attacks, since it's unknown whether or not she'll be able to follow up her first 2 attacks with a third, I'd always recommend waiting for the opening that comes after the 3rd attack. You can clearly see whether or not she will do her 3rd series in the combo. Once she does do her 3rd attack in either one of those 2 combos, go ahead, dash in, get some quick attacks in, and back off. Hino-Enma is a very aggressive boss, especially comparative to Onryoki. You're not going to want to be pushing the offensive too much against her. You're going to want to be waiting for her to do her first initiations and then do your counter attacks. So don't get too anxious with those 2-hit combos because they can hit and they do stack with paralytic effects. So if she hits you too many times with her combos, then she will stun you. Her next attack is a spinning attack. She'll basically fly at you like a top. At the end of her spin, she will leave a puddle of miasma on the ground. So if you don't want her regenerating her ki, after that move, get a couple of light attacks in and then make sure you ki pulse effectively to get rid of that miasma. Her next attack that's pretty important is a paralytic attack. She basically does an indication of a yell, and the paralytic attack can be dodged whether you want to dodge it or just flat out run perpendicular to her position. Both are very effective, and right after she does this attack, she is open for being attacked, so I personally like to dodge this attack and then dash in for some couple of light attacks, because typically she'll follow it up with just one of her combos, which are easy enough to dodge. Her next important attack that comes out is a vampiric attack. She'll basically pull you in close, give you the worst hickey that you've ever experienced, and then leave you used and abused on the ground. Now, this doesn't just deal damage to you, but it will also heal her. I calculated her effective health to be right around 10,000, and each time she heals, it's a flat health no matter how much health you personally have or how much damage she deals to you. She'll always heal a set 796 health. Now this comes out to about 7.9% of her maximum health, so it would be more effective to say that it's 8% of her maximum health that she'll heal, and then therefore that her health actually comes out to roughly 9,950. If you do have a duo, I have noticed that whenever you do have a summoned individual with you, her health will be increased, and therefore when she does get that vampiric attack onto you, she'll heal upwards of 1,200 hit points. I didn't do much investigations with the summoning system for these boss guides. However, I do know that they are increased significantly, so keep that in mind if you are taking a buddy with you for this fight, that her hit points, her damage, and her healing will be increased significantly. Now her next set of attacks are done while she's in the air, which is first her paralytic attack, which is functionally the same thing as when it's on the ground. You're just going to want to wait for that yell and dodge or run directly perpendicular to her position. Or she'll do a needle attack. Well, she'll throw 2 sets of needles towards your body. You can either block or dodge these. Either one's effective. They don't deal terrible damage, so if you do happen to get hit by these, don't let that discourage you from the rest of the fight. However, she does have a dive bomb mechanic when she is in the air. I personally like to dodge either one of her attacks that she has while she's in the air and then run directly under her. You'll be able to clearly see her feet, and once her feet disappear from your screen, you're going to want to dodge backwards. She pretty much dive bombs your position directly under her with her wings, and if you time it nicely, when you run back at her and you hit her, you'll actually stun her, causing her to tumble backwards. Now, I do not recommend chasing after her when she does stumble, because she can recover very quickly once she stops, and one of her favorite things to do after that is her vampiric attack. So it's actually best to go with a ranged option after you make her stumble at this point, whether it's a bomb that you want to throw at her or just shoot her with a rifle or even a hand cannon. Both are good options. I'd recommend keeping your distance after you make her tumble like this, or heal up and get yourself situated for the next part of the engagement. Now, the last aspect of her fight is her ki drain mechanic. Once you do drain her ki, she'll basically just fall on the ground, and she doesn't stumble, it's more of like a stun. Deal in a couple of attacks, but be careful, because once her ki does start to recover, she can jump up very quickly, just like she does when she stumbles backwards after the dive bomb if you hit her in the head. All in all, Hino-Enma is a pretty straightforward boss. The only thing that's really discouraging about this boss, or what makes her difficult, is how much more aggressive she is than the first boss. But as long as you stay patient, go in the openings that you're comfortable with, and take the fight slowly, take it at your own pace, not hers, you'll do just fine. If you found this guide helpful, please let me know in the comment section. Let me know what I can improve on, or what you'd like me to add for the next set of videos. However, until next time, happy hunting.